The title of this video is a little silly, and I kind of wrote it that way because it sounded snappy. But really, this video is about why self-care is important on your path to success. I'm going to go over a few of the things that I do to keep myself grounded and keep myself moving forward. Hi, my name is Lisa. I am a speech language pathologist, adventurer, aspiring writer, avid goal setter, and goal king. And I'm here to help you learn how to set and accomplish your goals. So if you'd like to learn how to be successful and accomplish your goals, or you'd simply like to see how I get along accomplishing my own goals, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment down below. Also, ignore my really loud neighbors. Public service announcement, we are still in the cringe phase of content creation, but I will embrace the cringe and I encourage you to embrace it with me. Now, this is going to be one of my shorter videos. My last two were pretty long and covered some pretty heavy topics. And I think we all deal with some fairly heavy emotional things throughout our lives. Stress, drama, relationships, all these things can really pile up and pull you down. And you've probably heard people talk about self-care before. And you think, well, that sounds nice, but who has time for that? You do. Every single day, because it's important. Now, what is self-care? Just in case you are wondering. It's making sure that your health, happiness, and well-being are a priority in your everyday life. 2 years ago at the school I was working at in Indiana, the social worker, who, by the way, was awesome at her job and she cared about everyone and everything, had all the staff take this self-care assessment to really gauge our level of stress and if we were taking care of ourselves. And to the surprise of absolutely no one, in the age of COVID, we were all incredibly stressed out. And it really got me thinking, what was I doing? I just graduated grad school, moved to a different state just to work my butt off to what? Not reap the benefits of my success? And that's also around the time I started thinking about starting this channel. But I had to put all these ideas into practice first before I could start teaching them to other people. So along with all my techniques and methods for goals, I put a self-care plan into place for myself. Now, I make sure I do a few little self-care things every single day, a medium-sized one every week, and then a big one every month. And I spread them all out over the different kinds of self-care that a person needs. What is that you say, Lisa? There's more than one type of self-care? Of course. And if you make the mistake of Googling this, you're going to find a million articles that are the 8 types of self-care, the 5 types of self-care, the 4 types of self-care, just a lot of those kinds of things. No one can really agree on a number. And I'm sure you get the picture, but I'm really only going to focus on these 6 types of self-care. Emotional, physical, mental, social, spiritual, and personal. I'm not really going to go into depth about what each of these mean. I think they're pretty self-explanatory by their names, and also you can just Google them. But I will go into detail about some of the things that I do to fulfill these different areas of self-care. The first one, emotional self-care. How do I regulate my emotions and keep myself positive and professional? A lot of people regulate their emotions by journaling, and that's pretty much what I'm doing on this channel. Each of these episodes is essentially a journal entry or an essay to help get my thoughts and feelings about these things out there. I'm able to talk about my struggles with work, these previous experiences I've had, and also my weight loss. And I'm even going to take it up a notch by doing weekly vlogs, which will be starting in October. Next, physical. How am I taking care of my body to help me be healthy and also to avoid succumbing to sickness via stress and overwork? As just mentioned, I am on a weight loss journey at the moment. And so this type of self-care has really just been integrated into my daily life. And it's also a mindset shift because in order to diet in a mentally, physically, and emotionally healthy way, you really have to change your psychology surrounding food. For example, in one of my previous videos, I talked about the importance of eating fruit. And eating fruit is more than just thinking about it as not being a bad food, but actively thinking about it as being a healthy food. When I eat every day, I don't think about limiting what is bad for me. With every piece of food I put into my body, I think, this is healthy for me. This is healthy for my body. This will heal my body. It will give me energy and it'll give me the necessary nutrients to survive. I'll make it through this day and the next day, and most importantly, this food is good for me. This mentality is active self-care over my physical health. I also go for walks and do weightlifting, but those things are only helped by the food that I'm eating. Next is mental self-care. How am I taking the time to actively improve my mental health and expand my mind? I know that sounds woo-woo, but I promise this woo-woo is normal. Meditation is a big one for a lot of people. It really helps clear your mind and organize your thoughts. But I also think it falls under the spiritual category, so I'm going to talk about it more there. But one thing I do for my mind is continual learning. I'm one of those can't stop learning no matter where you are in life. My astrology friends would tell you this is because I'm a Gemini, and honestly, there's nothing that makes me happier in life than learning new skills or new information. So I will routinely sign up for classes, join book clubs, and do self-study in areas that I'm genuinely interested in. This helps expand my mind and just helps me feel like I'm on track mentally. If I'm not learning something new, I'm in crisis. Fortunately, I don't see any obstacles to this. I mean, who's gonna be like, no, stop, don't learn? I'm pretty lucky that way, I guess. Next is social self-care. How am I maintaining my social and familial relationships to make sure that my support system stays intact? This one is pretty easy. I call and chat with my friends. I call and chat with my parents. I think the only difficulty I really have with this is that I don't have any romantic connections at the moment. And so one of the things that I'm doing is just going on dating apps and seeing what's out there. I try and do that a few minutes every day, but no luck so far. So if things look a little different from that last cut to this one, it's because my battery died, just like my love life. Anyways, as I was saying, I also make time with my friends to play video games, especially since now that I've moved to another state, this really helps us keep connected. Next is spiritual self-care. How am I taking care of my soul? Not everyone is spiritual or religious, but you can still practice self-care for this concept of a soul. This means taking the time to integrate your mind, heart, and body to center yourself and find your truest self and connect yourself to the world around you. A lot of people will spend time in nature, they'll go for walks on trails or go hiking, and I used to do this all the time when I lived in Japan. And believe me, I never felt more centered in my life. A lot of people do yoga, go to church, do religious or spiritual studies, and as we talked about, a lot of people do meditation. Now, I've never been that big into meditation, but I'm really trying to change my mind about it for my overall spiritual health. And there's actually 2 reasons for why I've always struggled with meditation. One is that during the day, my mind is just too active. I can't ever get it to a place where it quiets down. And 2 being, when it is a bit quieter at night and I try to meditate, I end up falling asleep. But I actually started using this to my advantage. Every night, when I go to bed, I say my prayers, I meditate, and I'm out like a light. Sometimes I'll even have these trippy dreams. One time I dreamed I was this little dude running around the Amazon. But anyways, doing this small amount of meditation during prayer really does help center my mind, heart, and body. I feel closer to my true self, I feel closer to God. And even if you don't believe in any of that, try it anyways, and maybe you'll get a decent night's sleep out of it. Lastly, we have personal self-care. What am I doing to make my life enjoyable and have something to look forward to? Life is more than just about work and success, but as I mentioned before, it's about reaping the rewards of that success. Part of this is trying new things and doing the things that you enjoy. I actually do several things for personal self-care. I love to try new restaurants. Recently, I went to this new Philippine restaurant in Savannah. It's called the Nara Tree. And oh my God, it was amazing. Really authentic, delicious Philippine food. I'm definitely going back. Every 4 to 6 weeks, I go to the spa. Because one thing I'm really insecure about is my skin. And this is because for decades, I really struggled with severe hormonal issues that just completely would break out my face and just caused all these skin issues. So now I get these regular facials that leave me feeling refreshed and better about my skin. I know not everyone can afford to get professional facials, and it's definitely something I have to work into my budget every month. And I also want to eventually, get to a place where I can get regular massages every month, but I'm not rich enough to live that kind of lifestyle yet. But if it's something that you're interested in, you can always start with home facials, you can paint your nails, you can do your hair, other things like that make you feel good. One of the last things I do for personal self-care is setting boundaries. I make my bedtime a priority. I talked about this at length in a previous video, but it's really important to me. I'm never going back to a life where I pull all-nighters and stay up late. My personal health is just far too important. I hope talking about these different types of self-care has given you perspective and given you ideas for what you can do for yourself to help keep you healthy and happy. Self-care is just so important to making us well-adjusted and happy human beings. Because honestly, who needs more jerks in the world? Okay, that's all for right now. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment down below. Please let me know what you'd like to see on this channel, and let me know about some of the goals that you're working on. How can I best help you accomplish your goals?